Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Unplugged and Uncut, the news source for sports news and entertainment. Today, I want to get into Dejounte Murray and did the Spurs make the right decision? Or better yet, is Dejounte Murray's offseason proving the Spurs have made the right decision? That is right. I got 5 quick points I want to go over, with the first starting off being Dejounte Murray's offseason antics. He's got into spouts with the Spurs and Paolo Banchero, #1 rookie drafted this year. He's had all type of interactions and questionable dialogue, needless to say, for the Spurs and towards Paolo Banchero, which gets some people to wondering, did the Spurs make the right choice? And is Dejounte Murray proving the Spurs made the right choice? Now, I don't really want to get into too much about the comments on the Spurs about being 15 years away. We talked about that before, but you but if you put that together with the interactions he's had with Paolo Banchero over in some of these summer league games or these summer squads, it leads you to think, maybe the Spurs made the right decision and were ahead of the curve on Dejounte Murray's attitude that we might not have known as Spurs fans. Because I tell you this, I was not happy when Dejounte Murray got traded, but after seeing some of these exploits and some of the things that have happened since he has been traded, I'm starting to find it a little bit easier to accept, and almost at the point where I'm like, wow, the Spurs got on top of this before it got too bad. The next thing I want to say is it opens up a guard spot in the Spurs deep rotation of guards. Moving off of Dejounte Murray creates more time for one of the younger guards to get playing time. That is invaluable experience for whatever player. We believe, most of us think Tre Jones will step in there, maybe Blake Wesley, whoever is the starting point guard. That gives them more time to develop under Greg Popovich. The third thing is it's going to avoid Dejounte Murray's next contract, which could be $30+ million. That is right. There's no guarantees that Dejounte Murray will make another All-Star team. He made this All-Star team as a stand-in for a player who could not make it. So there's no guarantee that he will make another All-Star team. Now, it's quite possible he will. He has the talent level. We're not saying Dejounte doesn't have the talent. We're just saying the NBA is stacked, and paying $30+ million for a player who might not see another All-Star game could be more than the Spurs are willing to play. Now, I'm not going to sit here and bet that Dejounte is or isn't going to make the All-Star team. I'm just saying there is a possibility that he has seen his one All-Star game and could want $30+ million. The fourth thing I want to point out about the Dejounte Murray trade is the Spurs received a lot of draft compensation. This was a really good trade from the Spurs if you look at it from a draft compensation standpoint. Around the time when the Spurs are starting to get better and win games, those 2 Atlanta Hawks picks could resurface, even if the Charlotte Hornet pick does not convey this year, because the Hornets aren't good enough for that pick to convey. The 2 Atlanta Hawks picks should be conveying at a time when the Spurs, in theory, should be better. So instead of just having their 30th or their 29th pick, which the Spurs were used to for a very long time, they should, in theory, also have that Atlanta Hawks pick that could be a higher draft pick than the one they have. Then you could package those 2 picks together to move up, or you could select both players, 2 really good players in that season. So that draft compensation can become really big for the Spurs. And lastly, and I know this one might shock some people, but losing Dejounte Murray actually raises the Spurs' ceiling. And what I mean by this is a team led by Dejounte Murray, Keldon Johnson, Jakob Poeltl, and Devin Vassell is only really going to get so far. I like all the players, but when you take Dejounte Murray out the mix, and the reason I say that team's only going to get so far is because you have to pay these players. Dejounte Murray could be $30+ million, KJ's at $20+, Jakob Poeltl could command 15 to 20 on his next deal, and Devin Vassell could command 15 to 20. That is your entire team, basically. And I don't see a high enough ceiling to invest like that, in my personal opinion. Moving off of Dejounte Murray now creates an opportunity where you can raise the ceiling. Tre Jones and Blake Wesley could both slide in right there. In fact, I feel like Blake Wesley has the highest ceiling on the team for guards, and he might even be better than Dejounte Murray. That is right. Blake Wesley has a chance to be a true two-way player that could be as good, if not better, than Dejounte Murray. So watch out for the rookie. Watch out for Tre Jones and the opportunities being created for the Spurs to raise their ceiling. That's right, a team led by Dejounte Murray is only so good. As much as I love Dejounte Murray's game, his ability to get you 20 points, 9 assists, 9 rebounds, and 2 steals, I feel like Tre Jones isn't too far off from there. His scoring potential is not as high, but Tre Jones is a monster on the defensive end and a really good facilitator. I could see Tre Jones averaging, if he starts this year, easily 12 to 13 points a game to go with 7 to 9 assists. If Blake Wesley starts, that completely shoots the Spurs ceiling through the roof. Blake Wesley has star qualities, guys. Do not sleep on Blake Wesley. This kid might be special. So that's what I wanted to get into. The Spurs might have been ahead of the curve on losing Dejounte Murray, and some of his offseason antics could prove the Spurs to be right. How you guys feel about Dejounte Murray in the offseason he has had so far? Very, very loud offseason. Whether you want to say loud for good reasons or loud for bad reasons, he's been very, very loud, so to say. And I'm just using that word as to say, I don't want to say he's been a disruption for the Hawks. I don't think he's been a disruption. I do feel, however, he has had a loud offseason. Very unspurs-like and making me reconsider losing Dejounte Murray a lot. I'm actually now on board with the trade. I'm totally cool with the trade, and I actually feel like this might have just raised the Spurs ceiling. Can't wait to see what Spurs fans have to say about this one. Do y'all agree losing Dejounte Murray could actually, in theory, raise the Spurs ceiling? Is his offseason antics showing the Spurs made the right moves? Can't wait to read what everybody thinks in the comments. And your boy is out. Peace.